It is just about that time. I'm actually quite late because the show is in 4 days. I'll vote for the stuff now and then talk about the predictions. Best esports team, best esports athlete, best esports game. I don't care. I could not care less. Yeah, for the esports, I'm literally withholding my vote. Content creator of the year. It's probably Queso. Yeah, I don't really care about this either, and I don't really watch any of these people, but it's probably Queso. Most anticipated game. Monster Hunter Wilds was a pretty big deal, but it's Grand Theft Auto 6. I mean, Metroid Prime is probably close-ish, but come on, it's GTA 6. Best adaptation. I didn't watch a couple of these, but I did watch Fallout, and it is very good. So I'm going for Fallout. I hope that wins. Best multiplayer. Call of Duty Black Ops 6, I'm not voting for it. Who votes for a COD game for best multiplayer? Warhammer 40k. Is that as good of a multiplayer experience as, you know, the clear frontrunner, which is Helldivers? I'm going for Helldivers. It's the most fun. Best sports and racing. These games are all bad. I like MLB The Show. That's pretty much the only sports game that I would ever play and that I do ever play. But I was like half on the fence of even thinking about 2K25, and it's also a hard no. Best family. Four Nintendo games that I haven't played. I don't have a Nintendo. And then Astrobot. I'm also withholding my vote just due to the fact that the sample is like 80% of stuff that I'm not even remotely familiar with. Move on to best fighting. Dragon Ball Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. Did that even come out this year? I don't know if it did. I don't remember if it came out. MVC Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. You know, it's probably the best option here. Dragon Ball, maybe. Not super into Dragon Ball, but I'll vote for MVC. Best RPG. Yeah, we're getting the good stuff now. Dragon's Dogma 2, no. It shall not get my vote. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Why are FromSoft games in the RPG category? I would not be the first to call any like Dark Souls or Elden Ring anything an RPG. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. When I think of RPG, I think of stuff like Final Fantasy. I think of stuff like Metaphor Fantasio. Like, I don't know what other category that it would be in. Anyway, yeah. You know, anybody that knows what kind of games I like, my vote is obviously going for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This was the best game that I've played this year, and it's not even close. It's not even close. I'll save my my opinions for... This game was nominated for so much. But yeah, that's where it is right now. It's absolutely the best RPG in the category. Best action adventure. Ah, yes. Astrobot Occurrence number 2. Surely this will only be in appropriately selected categories. This will only show up in appropriate categories. Astrobot, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Silent Hill 2. Again, like, an action adventure. Is it an action adventure? Like, is it really? It's a horror game, but okay, I guess the description of the category is fairly accurate. Star Wars Outlaws is not good, and Legend of Zelda didn't play it. Had no interest in it. I mean, I guess I would give it to Silent Hill 2, but you know, just based on the language of the category description, I would want it to win something. Best action game. Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stillblade, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. Okay, well, these are action games. Nobody should vote for Black Ops 6, I'm sorry. You know, this is a pretty stacked category, but I'll give it to not Helldivers, I'll give it to Warhammer 40k. Best mobile game. I never understood Balatro. I had no interest in it, and I still don't get it. I know nothing about the game. And Pokemon TCG Pocket. I mean, I've seen the game, haven't played it. I don't know, it looks like just pretty much Pokemon game that's on your phone. Wuthering Waves I'm actually the most familiar with. Zenless Zone Zero, also no, I don't even want to be associated with that. I'll give it to Wuthering Waves. It's probably the best game on here. Best debut indie. I know that there's just a regular best indie game. I don't see the point of the best debut indie. I don't know what compelled them to make two different categories that are both indie based. Like, I know there's a lot of indie games coming out now, but do we really need two categories for this? One that's just a debut and one that's regular? I feel like the best debut indie would probably be the best indie, which is what I'm going to go with because I'll vote for Animal Well here. And then best indie game, I will also vote for Animal Well. Best community support. Baldur's Gate 3, could be. FF14. Final Fantasy XIV is the bane of my existence. It actually is. It's the most annoying thing. I love Final Fantasy so much, but this game, like that game just annoys me. I don't know, I just disagree with the idea of Final Fantasy XIV and Final Fantasy XI. But, you know, what can you do? They're making so much money off of it. It's fine. I'm not voting for it, though. Anyway, yeah, Fortnite. I don't think so. I mean, I know they just did the Bringing Back Season 1, but Helldivers 2, best community support? Absolutely not. That is the opposite of community support. That's community unsupport. That's community harassment. No Man's Sky community support? I'm not sure, but like that game is good because the devs are good. And they made a comeback, and they're still bringing a bunch of good stuff to the game. I guess I'll give it to Baldur's Gate 3. Best ongoing. Now, No Man's Sky should be on this category and not community support. I don't think. No Man's Sky is good because of the developers and, you know, what they keep bringing into the game, what they keep adding to it. I don't think it's so much of the community as it is the devs, but it's fine. Destiny 2, not really. I mean, it's been rocky for Destiny. I don't know. I feel like they've been on the decline. Diablo 4, I didn't know that this was an ongoing game. No, I can't remember last time I've heard anything new about Diablo 4. Not in those circles, so. Final Fantasy XIV, never voting for it, and you know why. Fortnite, possibly, but Helldivers, I don't even know about Helldivers. Because that also had a lot of ups and downs in, you know, the development in what was going on. You know what? Oh, that's fine. I'm giving it to Helldivers because I don't want to just not vote. And, you know, they put out the patch. They're a little bit better with stuff now than they were before. It's because I enjoyed the game the most out of all the other ones. That's why. Games for Impact. I haven't ever heard of it. Heard of it, don't really know anything about it. Never heard of it. Heard of it. Might be. Oh. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. It's probably that. Never heard of this. I like Hellblade a lot. I'll give it to Hellblade. Go. Innovation and accessibility. Well, I don't need the accessibility features in games, so I'm not even going to vote for that. Go and do your work, people that need accessibility features. And whatever you come up with, I'll be happy with, I guess. Best performance. It's bias time. It's actually a pretty good, pretty stacked category. Yeah, so Brianna White played Aerith in FF7 Rebirth. Hannah Tell. This was Max from Life is Strange. Humberly Gonzalez. Senua and Senua Saga. These are all pretty good. I mean, these are all good, but it's just the bias. I can't help it. I see these words and I just have to click on them, man. I genuinely think it's good. Like, she did such a good job. Like, it's obviously a good job, but like it's a really good job. Like, it's perfect for Aerith. It's the perfect voice actress. It's a perfectly played role. It's exactly what the character is meant to be. It's not that these other ones aren't. It's also the one that I know the most about, you know, just like, it's called bias. Best audio design, Astrobot appearance number 87, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I'm actually not going to click on it this time, resisting the will to, because it really is Hellblade. This is that's like the point of the game. Silent Hill 2, it's up there, but it's got to be Hellblade. That game is made to just impress you in terms of audio. Astrobot. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It is the clear winner here. It really is. I don't care what you say about Metaphor. I don't care what you say about Silent Hill, about Stellar Blade, about Astrobot. I don't care. If you listen to the music in all these games, this one is better. It just objectively is. There's no way around it. It's FF7 Rebirth. Like, no game that came out this year could give it a like real run for its money. There are games that cut it kind of close. I would honestly put Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree in here if I could, as opposed to like Astrobot. But even then, like, Elden Ring has some great music and everything, but come on, it's FF7 Rebirth, and it's not really it's not really that close. Best art direction. God. You know, I really hate, you know, existing. Black Myth Wukong, you know, shout out, but not really. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Metaphor ReFantazio, and Neva. I have no idea. I haven't even heard of it till I looked at this. I mean, from what I can see here, it's probably good. You know? It's probably good. Looks nice. But come on. I gotta give it to Elden Ring. I mean, the FromSoft art direction is just always good. It's always on point. It's just always so well done every single time. Like, tell me a time when, like, oh, FromSoft really fell off in the art department. Like, you've never said that in your life. I'm giving it to Elden Ring just because of familiarity. But, you know, shout out to Neva or Neva. It's probably good. I think that was an indie release, right? Shout out. You know, it looks nice. But, you know, just, if you play the game and you like it, vote for it. I'm just here voting for Elden Ring. Best narrative. Again, FF7 Rebirth. I'm gonna save my opinions for that later. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantazio, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2. I'm not familiar with the stories of Metaphor and Like a Dragon. You know, I mean, maybe Silent Hill 2 and Hellblade 2, but the thing is, the narrative for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is, you know, if you played the game, you know. If you played the original Final Fantasy VII, you know. Like, could you, like, imagine if the first disc of the original Final Fantasy VII was just one game, and then it was part of this? Like, would you really, like, call that a complete narrative? Absolutely not. There's no way this would be a full and complete story. Now, granted, like, there's other sequels here, which is why I'm not sure if I think that's really the best logic to go by. But again, like, I'm just not familiar with Metaphor, and I don't really care either. The story of Hellblade is good. I don't know. I mean, I would give it to FF7 Rebirth just because of familiarity. But I don't even know if it's really... I mean, I think it probably is the best narrative on here if it's not, you know, Silent Hill 2 or something. It could be Like a Dragon, I really don't know. But I'm just saying, like, you know, I'm voting for this just because I just vote for things that start with FF and 7. But, you know, best narrative might not be the most appropriate award for this, and I honestly don't care if it loses. If there's a better narrative here that actually wins, then that's great. Best game direction. Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. This is best game direction, and I'm not even being biased here. It's a clear sweep for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It's not close, and nobody can convince me otherwise. Let's go through it. Astrobot, it's not a real game. Balatro, I don't care, and therefore nobody should. Black Myth Wukong, it's good. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, it's a FromSoft game. It's good, but I think it also, like Elden Ring before it did fall flat in some crucial areas, and for that reason I don't vote for it. And Metaphor ReFantazio, it's an action RPG. It looks boring in my opinion. It doesn't seem like any kind of like specialty in game design at all. It's just, you know, it doesn't fill this criteria. Outstanding creative vision, I mean, it could be, but innovation in game direction design, I don't think so, especially with Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. I'm not sure they innovated anything. It's literally a DLC for Elden Ring. It's the same gameplay with some different mechanics, but it also has some holes in it. Metaphor ReFantazio, it innovates nothing. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth innovates everything. Absolutely everything. There are so many different things to do in that game, it's actually crazy. There's like 18 different games that you can play in that game. There's just so much depth to everything. Everywhere you go, there's just something new to do, and it's almost every single time it's done perfectly. And the game is fun. The combat greatly improved from 7 Remake, I'll tell you that much. And 7 Remake was already pretty good. But this is just that even further evolved. It's a perfect action RPG that's not what Metaphor ReFantazio seems like. I mean, it innovated off of what 7 Remake innovated on. And that's why I think it fits best game direction perfectly. I don't think these other ones even contest closely, and that's not even bias. Just play the game, play as much of the game as you can, and you will understand why. Now, Game of the Year. Oh my god, it's the exact same in the exact same order and nothing changed. Whoa. It's not Astrobot, not voting for it. It's not Balatro either. So the real contenders are Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, FF7 Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. Okay. I don't really think... I think the easiest to eliminate would be Metaphor ReFantazio. And maybe Shadow of the Erdtree. Honestly, like, really, I feel like if Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree won Game of the Year in 2024 after it won in 2022, that would be kind of crazy to me. Now, the thing is, I will vote for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I will vote for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, of course. But I'll get into my predictions, and they're actually different. Anyway, yeah, that's all the stuff I wanted to vote for. Now, these predictions, these are the things I think are going to win. Not that I necessarily wanted to. I also skipped the esports stuff because I still don't care. Most anticipated game, my money is on GTA 6, and that's what I voted for. There's a possibility of like Metroid and Monster Hunter, but I really don't see any argument. Best adaptation, it's You know, Arcane, I heard really good things about Arcane, and not so much about the other stuff, other than Fallout, which I still think is probably going to win. I think it was the most popular of what we see here, and I think it's you know, it has the greatest likelihood to win too. I think for that reason. I don't think like even Arcane and stuff was not on the level that Fallout was. Fallout was like major headline, and that's just a difference maker. Best multiplayer is Black Ops 6, Helldivers, Super Mario Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40k. I did vote for not Warhammer 40k. I voted for Helldivers. Just because it's Call of Duty, I'm honestly having feelings that it might be Black Ops 6. It might be close between Black Ops 6, but I think Helldivers 2 is pretty secure just because of the impact that it had. And it is, like, Helldivers is way more fun than Call of Duty has been in a long, long time. Best Family. We have the 4 Nintendo games that I didn't play, and then Astrobot, which I am not happy about, but it's probably Astrobot. Honestly, I didn't hear about any of these as much as I did Astrobot. The only thing that I heard some people talking about. Best Fighting, Dragon Ball, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising. When did that come out? It came out in December of 2023, like the day before the last Game Awards. What? Anyway, yeah, because I saw like advertising for that in 2023. That's what was confusing to me. But I guess maybe it didn't get nominated because of how close it was to the Game Awards last year. Best fighting game, like Tekken 8 might be. Dragon Ball, there's a chance, a small chance. Multiverses are smaller chance, but MVC Arcade Classics, that's a way bigger deal than any of these other ones. I think that's locked. Best RPG, it's not Dragon's Dogma 2, that's for sure. There's no way it's Dragon's Dogma 2. Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. Yeah, honestly, I think that's actually fair, because I don't think Elden Ring really, you know, is gonna win anything in terms of the game itself. I think the best part of it, honestly, like, had to be just the visuals, because they're always good, but it's just Elden Ring again. Like, in terms of the core, in terms of the gameplay, what game that you're playing, it's pretty much Elden Ring the same, and it's the DLC anyway. I'll talk about this for Game of the Year, but I think FF7 Rebirth is actually a good bet here too, because I'll just say now that I don't think it has the best chances of winning Game of the Year. And so, or even the best game direction necessarily, you know, to that extent. So I feel like it might have the best bet of winning Best RPG if it doesn't win those. Best Action Adventure, again, Astrobot. I think Silent Hill 2 was a pretty good pick. Star Wars Outlaws isn't good. Zelda, didn't play it, no interest. I guess Silent Hill 2, honestly, for the same logic as why I think Final Fantasy VII might get Best RPG, is because it's not nominated for much else, and I don't think it has the best chances of winning anything else. And with this kind of lineup in this category, it's probably the most likely to win. Best Action, it could be that. It could be Helldivers, and it could be Black Myth Wukong. Those are probably all equally likely. If they're going to give more grace to Helldivers, then it might win that. I think Helldivers is least likely among Warhammer and Black Myth. I think Black Myth might have the best chances, even though I voted for Warhammer 40k. But I just voted for Warhammer 40k because I would rather see that win. You know, get some recognition. Best debut indie and best indie. I mean, I don't think it's probably got to be between Animal and Balatro. I think the best debut indie, they're both debut indies too. This is either or. There's no difference between these categories, and there's no difference in what it matters. I think Animal Will might win best debut because I feel like it's more likely that Balatro would win best indie, like the term, like quality, in just the entire genre. I feel like it's more likely that Balatro would win this like slightly more like prestigious award compared to debut indie. But this is so arbitrary, it doesn't matter. Best community support: Baldur's Gate 3, FF14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. I eliminated No Man's Sky because, as I said, I think it's more about the devs and the community which make that game good. I'm sure the support for the community in No Man's Sky is great too, but it's definitely not Helldivers. That's an easy elimination. That has like a bad, like an objectively bad community. They're mad at that game for everything, and also the community is kind of annoying, honestly. Community support, it could be Fortnite, maybe. I feel like if they keep coming back, it's good, supportive enough. Does it need the support? I don't know. Baldur's Gate 3, maybe. If they're still on their Baldur's Gate 3 like stuff. Knowing how these things go, Final Fantasy 14 might just be that. I might be doomer about this award and say that it's FF14 again. Best ongoing: Destiny 2, Diablo 4, FF14, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. I voted for Helldivers 2, but I'm not sure it has the best chances of winning. Destiny 2, I don't think so either. Diablo 4, that's just, I guess, me being out of touch with the game. FF14 and Fortnite. Am I betting on FF14 to go back to back because I'm just that doomer? I might be. Maybe it's because of it's the other Final Fantasy game that's in here that I really, really like. That's why I'm like just defaulting into not being happy as a fan of the franchise again. Good stuff coming up here. Games for Impact. I think I voted for Life is Strange, right? Oh, I voted for Hellblade. What did I vote for Life is Strange? Okay, well, I voted for Hellblade 2, but I actually think it's Life is Strange. I think that's a better bet. I don't even know what these are. I mean, I know I've heard of Indica. I feel like Life is Strange has a little bit more of that, the value of popularity. And like second to that is only Hellblade 2, but I don't think that's winning necessarily Games for Impact, even though I like Hellblade. Best performance, yeah, Brianna White and Hannah Tell, Humberly Gonzalez, Luke Roberts, and Melina Juergens. This is honestly close. This is the closest that it's going to be for these categories, honestly. They're all pretty good. I think my prediction after I pick Life is Strange for this, I don't think they would like double up on something like that. I genuinely think it's Brianna White. You can't change my mind. These are my predictions. Best audio design. I think Hellblade 2 is a lot for that too. I voted for that myself too, but I think that's honestly what's most likely to win too. I don't think there's any of these are exceptional. The closest thing obviously is Silent Hill 2. That might be a pretty close match, but I think Hellblade 2 Hellblade is just made for that stuff. Silent Hill 2 is kind of a vehicle that's forwarded by audio design. Like Hellblade 2 is pretty much that's like how they tell the story and everything. Best score in music: Astrobot, FF7 Rebirth, Metaphor, Fantasia, Silent Hill 2. These suck. I mean, honestly, like Elden Ring should be on here. Seriously. It's FF7 Rebirth, and there's no question about that. That's more of a lock than anything else. That's more of a lock than Best RPG. If Metaphor ReFantagio steals Best RPG, then there's no way FF7 Rebirth is not winning Best Score in Music. Listen to the soundtrack and play the game, please. You'll understand. Best Art Direction: Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, Metaphor ReFantagio, and Neva. I don't know how to say that. Never heard of it. Looks kind of cool. Looks good. I think it's Elden Ring. Maybe a sleeper pick would be Black Myth Wukong, but the visuals in Elden Ring are just so good. As they always are with FromSoft. Best narrative. This might be kind of close. I was personally thinking that, FF7 Rebirth might not, just because it's like, an incomplete story, so to speak. But then, I was realizing that, like Hellblade 2 and Silent Hill 2 are sequels, and Like a Dragon is an entire series. I'm not that familiar with the story of that specific game, so I don't know if the logic would really be consistent. I just don't think that, like, Hellblade 2, Silent Hill 2, like a Dragon. There's a small chance, perhaps, but I think like it's just a juggernaut. FF7 Rebirth is a juggernaut, and I might not even agree with the pick, but I think that's the best bet here too. Not even being biased. I don't know if these other games are on the same level in terms of narrative, even though the narrative is like not even done yet. Anyway, best game direction and best game of the year. Wow, it's the exact same. So yeah, but these are actually these will be different. It's not Astrobot, it's not Balatro. It's not Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. I think that's a safe pick that it's not that. FF7 Rebirth and Black Myth Wukong are the closest. They both, fill the criteria well enough, I think. And, just like the impact that Black Myth Wukong had, I don't think that's what's going to win best game direction. I think it's a lock for FF7 Rebirth here, and only here. I think Black Myth Wukong is a lock for game of the year because of the impact. FF7 Rebirth didn't have the impact that Black Myth Wukong did, and I think FF7 is going to win a lot of the categories before this, such as best game direction. If Black Myth Wukong doubles up on game direction, I think that's kind of a robbery from everything that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth did so well. Like, it's such a good game. It's way better than 7 Remake, and it's way better than Final Fantasy 16 before it. If any modern Final Fantasy game were to win either best game direction or game of the year, it would be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Black Myth Wukong is probably where my money's at for game of the year, just because of the impact. I mean, especially with, Final Fantasy stuff now being pretty much a PlayStation exclusive for the first year of it or something. Gotta love that contract. It's just not able to reach as many people as Black Myth Wukong did. Its biggest stuff was on PC anyway. And just the PC data was insane. So yeah, that's what I predict for all this stuff. We will see what happens on December 12th.